Hello everyone and welcome back to Sammy's Kitchen. Today I'm going to be making some steamed cabbage with some sweet Italian sausage. Now for this recipe you don't have to put any meat. I just want to use these up, so I'm going to use them in today's dinner. So what I have here is half of a cabbage. You could use a whole cabbage depending on the size of your family. I have 5 Italian sausage, which I'm only going to use 3, and I'm going to slice them up. I'm going to take the casing off of them and slice them up. I have 6 sweet peppers, half of an onion, and for my seasonings, I have black pepper, mesquite seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, some adobo, and my unsalted all-purpose seasoning. I don't have any salt because these adobo has salt in it, and I don't like using additional salt in my food. So these 2 seasoning have salt, and for you, you just season to taste. If you want more or less of anything, you just take it out and substitute it, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I have my pot warming up on the stove over medium heat. I'm just going to go ahead and take off the casing off of these and cut them up. I did boil these for 25 minutes. I always like to pre-cook my sausage whenever I use it in a dish because I don't like the middle to be uncooked, okay? So I always pre-cook them. I cook these for about 25 minutes on a medium heat. I'm going to go and then I'll wash them off. I'm going to go ahead now and take the casing off and slice them up, okay? And also, if you guys want to add butter or a little bit of oil, I'll say about a teaspoon of oil, you can. If you don't, then don't, okay? I'll be back. Okay, y'all, here's my sausage. I took the skin off and I cut them up, and this is what we have. So what I'm going to do now, over here I have my water heating up. I put just enough water to cover the bottom of the pan, only because I'm not using any oil. I might add a little bit of butter maybe later on in the cooking process if I feel it needs it. But cabbage makes its own liquid, okay? So I just want it to steam all down. But this is just for the sausage and onion and pepper. I'm going to saute those up first, and then I'm going to add in my cabbage, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start adding in my ingredients in my pot. But the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and add my seasoning in my pot. So over here, I'm going to use about a teaspoon of each of my seasoning, and then I'll adjust the taste once it starts cooking, and if I feel like it needs any more seasoning, I will go ahead and add gradually. I don't like to put too much seasoning in the beginning because you can't take away, then you're gonna have to, if it's too salty, you have to figure out how to cut the salt. So I'm gonna start with a teaspoon of each, and then or half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of each, and then we're gonna go from there. Okay, be right back. Okay, you guys, so I added in my seasonings, and then I added in my peppers and onion, and it's just been going for like 2 minutes. Now I'm gonna add in my sausage and let it all go together. You want to make sure you coat your sausage good with the seasoning. Now, like I said, you could use sausage or you don't have to use sausage, just your vegetables is fine. Or you could use any kind of meat that you desire, but you really don't need meat for this. I've made it so many times without meat, and actually that's the way I prefer it, but I'm using these. I have them on hand and I'm using them up, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this After you got it really good incorporated with the seasoning, I'm going to cover this and let this go for about 5 minutes covered, and then I'm going to uncover it and we're going to start adding in our cabbage. Okay, now my cabbage, I have it cut up. I shredded it pretty fine. Now you don't have to shred it this fine, but I like my cabbage this fine. You could just cut it up however, whatever size that best suits you, but this is the way I have it cut up, this fine. Okay, so I'm gonna let those go for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and start adding in our cabbage. Okay, you guys, it's been 5 minutes and this is what we're looking like. Okay. And as you can see, you really don't need any oil or butter because the water starts steaming and frying everything together. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our cabbage now. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. And I'm going to put you guys down and mix this all in together. And then I'm going to come back and add some more, okay? So you just want to keep adding a little bit at a time. You don't want to just dump it all in there because the cabbage is gonna wilt down. So at first it seems like a lot, but it's really not. Then it's gonna slowly wilt down, okay? So just keep adding a little bit at a time and stirring it and getting all the seasoning and everything incorporated on your cabbage. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, this is what we're looking like. I have a little bit left. And like I said, you just want to keep stirring it and incorporating your cabbage so your seasoning get all coated on it. Okay. I'm just going to add the rest now. And I'm going to go ahead and stir this up and I'll be back. Okay, you guys, so I've added in the rest of my cabbage and this is what we're looking like. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover and let this go ahead and simmer on down. As you can see, adding in the cabbage, it made its own juices, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and cover this. And then I'll be back. Okay, you guys, our cabbage is all done. I let it cook for approximately 10 minutes with the cover on. In between that time, I checked it around 5 minutes. I tasted that it needed a little bit more seasoning. I added a half a teaspoon of adobo, all-purpose seasoning, and mesquite. So, I tasted it. Tastes good. I hope you guys give this recipe a try, and thank you so much for watching today. Bye.